Thin roadways on the sides of cliffs, highways that are filled with potholes, and bridges on the brink of collapse. These are the roads best to avoid if you value your life. So stay tuned for some of our top 5 worst roads and bridges.
Number 5.
Most bridges that you and I walk across are man-made and use materials such as concrete, steel and stone to get the job done. However, in the northeast Indian state of Meghalaya, it's common for people to allow nature to do the back-breaking labour of bridge building. Meghalaya is home to several different living root bridges, which are essentially simple suspension bridges that are made by linking together roots of the Ficus elastica or rubber fig tree. Through a process known as tree shaping, bridge builders will guide the roots of fig trees so they can connect over rivers and streams and eventually grow into one connected bridge. While they sometimes use bamboo or wooden scaffolding in order to make the job easier, there are many who simply make them by hand, and as a result, they create truly impressive structures. To top it off, while these bridges may look a little sketchy, they're actually a lot stronger than they look. With careful maintenance, these bridges can hold more than 50 people at a time and last up to 150 years. This makes them a great eco-friendly alternative to traditional bridges. However, since they're difficult to make with anything other than flexible roots, you may have trouble constructing one of these at your local park.
Number 4.
Located across Tongthaman Lake in Myanmar, the U-Bain Bridge is undoubtedly built in an extremely dangerous way. That's because, unlike most bridges that are made with guardrails and solid supports, the U-Bain Bridge is in a bit of a precarious position. The bridge is supported by over 1,000 wood pillars that were hammered into the bottom of the lake, with these pieces of wood being taken from an old royal palace. The bridge is a total of about 1,200 metres in length, and while its ramshackle look has a picturesque charm, it should also be noted that it's on the verge of collapse. That's because in recent years it's become a popular tourist destination, and while this has been great for the local economy, the amount of people who walk on it have taken their toll on the structural integrity of the bridge. At the moment, the bridge is in such a state of disrepair that several of the pillars have been replaced with concrete. Many of the original planks have to be replaced or refurbished, so unless these fixtures continue to be made, it's very likely that the U-Bain Bridge will one day collapse.
Number 3.
Many pieces of infrastructure were constructed during the Soviet era. One that was certainly built in a subpar way was the Kowandinsky Bridge, located near the village of Kowanda in Russia. The bridge is part of the single road that connects Kowanda to the outside world, but despite this, it's not exactly in the best condition. And while Kowanda has a railway line that crosses a nearby bridge, this bridge could not and still cannot facilitate any cars, and so as a temporary solution, the Soviets built the Kowandinsky Bridge. Kowandinsky Bridge was poorly built because it was meant to be temporary, and yet, despite this supposedly temporary measure, the government never actually got around to building a new bridge. As a result, the people who drive across it have been forced to finance makeshift repairs, and the end result has been a bridge that's very narrow, has no guardrails, has an uneven track, and it's held up by a series of old rusted over supports. In 2016, things got so bad that Russian courts ordered that the bridge be shut down, and in 2018 it suffered a hit by an ice flow which completely destroyed one of the pillars holding it up. As a result, the bridge was blocked off on both sides by the authorities, but however, since then it's been reopened by locals, and as such, this super dangerous bridge is still in use.
Number 2.
The Autobahn stands apart on this list as, unlike most other entries, it's actually very well maintained. Functioning as Germany's federal highway system, this 12,993 km long connection of roadways is notable due to the fact that many classes of vehicles don't have to follow any sort of speed limit. The Autobahn was constructed under the Nazi regime in the 1930s. The road is developed with about 70% of it having no speed limit at all, and the only parts that do have speed limits are generally in areas of the roads that are built up suburbs, accident prone or under construction. In unmarked areas, the average speed that most cars drive is reportedly at about 142 km per hour, and the fastest speed ever recorded on the Autobahn hasn't been broken for over 80 years. On January 8th of 1938, Grand Prix vet and Formula 1 racer Rudolf Caracciola shocked the world when he reached an impressive speed of 432 km per hour while driving a Mercedes-Benz W125 with a V12 engine. However, given the level of skill that it takes to drive a car at that speed, we wouldn't suggest trying to beat this record on your next drive through Germany.
Number 1.
There are many dangerous roads in the world, but not many come close to the treacherous conditions of North Yungas Road. Located in Bolivia, it connects the country's high-altitude capital city of La Paz to the country's low-lying Yungas region in the Amazon. It does so by first climbing from an altitude of 3,600 meters to 4,600 meters at La Cumbre Pass, and then once this stretch is complete, it makes a steep descent to the town of Corico by dropping over 3,600 meters in one of the longest stretches of continuous downhill road in the world. While driving straight downhill or uphill for 3,600 meters may sound daunting in its own right, what makes this road worse is the fact it's extremely dangerous. The North Yungas Road is only just 3 meters in width, but it's also located on the side of a cliff face, and as such, it's often hit with the forces of nature. Because it's subject to the warm and humid winds of the Amazon, the road is often bombarded by mudslides, tumbling rocks and small waterfalls, and due to the lack of guardrails, being hit by one of these can easily lead to your car tumbling off the face of the mountain. To prevent the approximate 300 deaths that were occurring on the road each year, the Bolivian government decided to improve the roadway by enlarging it from 1 lane to 2 lanes, paving the road with asphalt and adding guardrails and creating a new section to replace some of the most dangerous sections of the original road. While these changes have made the road far safer, North Yungas is still a popular spot for extreme sports enthusiasts who enjoy tearing down the mountain road at breakneck speeds. We hope you enjoyed this video of places you should probably try and avoid at all costs, if you like your car in one piece by the end of it, that is. And please check out some of our other awesome content from either the links below or click on one of these 2 previous videos for more action-packed world caught on camera footage. And thanks for watching.